Keir Starmer has vowed in his latest speech to bring back Blair and Blairism into today's British political debate. But does the country want the same? Oh, yes, it's only been a couple of decades, less than that, since we said goodbye to the politics of Blairism. Although you'd think we said goodbye to it, it continued under different branding, whether it was David Cameron and his Cameroon politics, which was to continue Blair's legacy. And since then, the whole system is essentially what we call social democracy. The Social Democrats have taken control of the main two political parties. We can't really tell difference much between the leaderships of the Tories or the Labour Party or the Liberal Democrats for that matter. And now Keir Starmer decided to shake things up. He thinks he's being visionary. He thinks he's trying to be different and revolutionary by announcing that he's bringing back something that is already there, which is really weird. So he said that he wants to change the whole culture when it comes to the political atmosphere, the Labour Party, the government, and we are not happy about this threat, essentially. So Keir Starmer decided to also say that we, as the Labour Party, are also ready to play dirty when it comes to the next election. I was wondering, what was he doing until now? The whole of the Labour Party have been playing dirty over the last few years. And especially even since Jeremy Corbyn left. You think the Corbyn days were bad, but the way the Labour politicians and Labour HQ brief the papers and the media on a daily basis, it's not really healthy politics. This is not some sort of positive campaign. So he believes, Keir Starmer, that the return of Blairism on steroid is what this country needs. As if he hasn't alienated enough left-wingers, and also, of course, small c conservatives who don't really want Blairism back. But he believes that if he uses Tony Blair as his wise advisor and the godfather of this ideology, which he didn't really create it himself, he thinks that the Labour Party will be able to govern properly. I'm not really sure if he knows why the new Labour Party, or new Labour government in the early 2000s and late 90s, why it seemed to be working. Because it controlled everything, including the media narrative. You weren't allowed to criticize the Labour Party and Labour government at that time. Otherwise, you will be the tinfoil hat nutter. And that's why they were able to get away with so much at the time. Whether it was the NHS scandals or foreign policy failures and everything else that they did, now it's all coming out. But Starmer believes that this is exactly what the country needs. More cover-ups, guys, more cover-ups. So in his speech that had Progressive Britain on the podium and behind him, it was some sort of conference, nonsensical thing, ambition for Britain. Okay, he said, some people think that all we are doing is distancing ourselves from the previous regime. Well, you should really do that, but okay. We are. But that totally misses the point. This is about taking our party back to where we belong and where we should always have been, back doing what we were created to do. What, cause chaos? Okay. He says, that's why I say this project goes further and deeper than New Labour's rewriting of Clause 4. Because that was controversial and Blair managed to win the country by getting rid of that part of the Labour constitution. This is about, he says, rolling our sleeves up, changing our entire culture. It's our DNA. Who are we in it for? Who do we serve? This task is going to be ongoing, difficult, and enormous. It is, if you like, Clause 4 on steroids. Our work is beginning to pay off. It is much easier to lose the trust of the working people. Far harder to reconnect. Well, yeah, obviously, Boris Johnson actually discovered that quite recently after asking the Red Wall to lend him the vote, and then he let them down. So that's not really anything new. But I don't think Starmer coming out to sound like the man of the people, yet at the same time come across as so polished and Blairite with his PR advisors and focus groups and opinion polls and everything else. I'm not really sure he's going to be able to become in touch with society. If he's genuine about trying to help the country, this is not how you do it. If he's actually still serving his masters who pay him and support his campaigns and causes, then good luck with that, Keir Starmer. I don't think people in this country are stupid. We'll find out what's going to happen within the next few months. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.